Yin stretches her arm muscles, looking satisfied with her work. She has successfully designed one dress for today. Glancing at her watch, a faint smile appears as it approaches noon, nearly 12 o'clock p.m. As usual, Yin grabs her bag and leaves her boutique. Her destination is clear, heading to her boyfriend Jeon Jungkook's office. Yin parks her car, confidently striding into the towering building. No need for her to approach the receptionist, as all the employees in the company are well aware that she is the girlfriend of their big boss. Every afternoon, Yin is sure to come here. It only takes about 10 minutes from her boutique, and then she and her guy will have lunch together. Always, every afternoon is like this. Without knocking, Yin opens the door and steps inside. She sees Jungkook engaged in conversation with his secretary, Kai. Yin offers a slight smile, and Kai politely greets her. Good afternoon, Miss Yin. Good afternoon, Kai. Since Kai is still seated in front of Jungkook's desk, Yin takes the initiative to sit on the sofa, allowing them to continue their postponed conversation. After a few moments. Alright, that's it. Please proceed as I instructed. Yes, sir. Then, if you'll excuse me. Jungkook nods, and Kai gets up from his seat, bowing slightly before exiting his office. Seeing Kai leave and the door closed, Yin approaches him, who is still seated. She leans in, embracing him and planting a soft kiss on his lips. Jungkook responds to the kiss gently, and they savor the sweet moment for quite a while until the kiss naturally comes to an end. Okay, honey, let's have lunch now. Okay? They both walk out, with Yin confidently holding his hand tightly, attracting the attention of all employees. Walking with self-assurance, Yin's demeanor seems to declare to everyone that she is the one who has Jungkook by her side. They appear to be a stark contrast. Jungkook walks with a stern and cold expression, while Yin beside him exudes elegance and friendliness, continuously leaning against one of his arms. Even though this sight has become a usual occurrence for the employees, her daily arrival at the company still captures the attention of others. Currently, Yin is inside Jungkook's car as they head to their usual restaurant for lunch. Although Yin could have taken her car, she deliberately chooses to spend the travel time with him. Where should we have lunch? The usual place? It's up to you. Anywhere is fine for me, as long as it's with you. Alright, let's stick to the usual place then. Yin nods while smiling gently at him. She notices one of his hands is idle, not holding the steering wheel. She immediately takes that hand, holding it gently and occasionally kissing it repeatedly. While Jungkook remains silent, focusing on driving, he allows Yin to do whatever she likes. Jungkook and Yin have arrived at their usual lunch spot. A waiter promptly hands them the menu, and they proceed to order their meals. Now, they simply wait for their food to be served. The atmosphere is tranquil, with no conversation starting between Yin and Jungkook. They sit side by side, her hand still gently holding onto his. Following that, Yin glances to her side, noticing the considerable distance between her and Jungkook's chairs. Without hesitation, she stands up and shifts her chair closer, ensuring they are now right beside each other. Once seated again with their positions much closer, it becomes effortless for her to rest her head on his shoulder, her hand never letting go of his with gentleness. Jungkook remains silent, his gaze fixed ahead, his expression flat, showing no emotion on his face. Yin lets it be, not bothered by it at all. She's accustomed to his demeanor. They've been dating for 3 years since their time at the same university. Back then, Yin was deeply infatuated with him. Boldly confessing her feelings to Jungkook, Yin, as the campus prima donna, was known by Jungkook. He accepted Yin's love, marking the beginning of their relationship. How was your work today? Smooth as usual. I managed to finish 2 dress designs every day. Earlier, I completed 1. Yin answers casually, while her head remains on his shoulder. Her hand gently holds his while occasionally playing with his fingers. Their interaction appears minimal verbally, yet there's a lot of physical touch between them, as evident in their current state. So far, their relationship seems fine. Jungkook doesn't mind how Yin treats him, and Yin doesn't have any issues with his demeanor. That's how it seems. Shortly after, their food arrives. At that moment, Yin sits upright, no longer resting her head on his shoulder. She releases his hand as they prepare to eat. On a particular day, as usual, Yin invites Jungkook for lunch. However, this time she arrives earlier, usually at 12 o'clock, but today, she's there by 11 o'clock. For some reason, she feels particularly eager to meet her boyfriend and can't wait. Standing in front of his office, she notices the door slightly ajar. Typically, an open door indicates an ongoing meeting with a client. Yin decides to peek before entering, checking if there are many clients or just one. If it's crowded, she plans to wait in the lobby. Yin carefully peeks and eavesdrops to assess the situation. How's your relationship with your girlfriend? I see you've been going strong, from college until now. Hearing the question from a man inside makes Yin a bit curious. It seems he's not a client, perhaps a friend visiting him. But since their conversation revolves around their romantic relationship, Yin decides not to enter and continues to eavesdrop from outside. Honestly, she's curious about what Jungkook will say. My girlfriend and I are doing well. Our relationship is trouble-free, but sometimes I feel like I need some time alone. What do you mean? You don't know. She's very clingy and always wants to be together. She comes to my office every day, every lunchtime. I'm always with her. While sometimes we need time to have lunch with clients to maintain good business relationships. But what happens is, I always refuse if a client invites me to lunch, because I remember she always comes to the office every noon. Does it harm your business relationships? So far, there's no problem because they already know I'll never accept lunch invitations, so they understand. Why don't you just talk to your girlfriend about it so she can give you some space? I know her well. She's a sensitive person. Even though she tries to hide it from me, I know she overthinks. If that happens, she'll be busy with her thoughts. She can assume and speculate wildly, and if that happens, she'll put on her sour face towards me, and I don't want to deal with that. No matter how I explain or make her understand, she seems firm in her own thoughts. So, she's a tough woman? Exactly, that's her type. Outside, she looks elegant and sweet, but inside, she's tough. Her thoughts are hard to change. If she likes something, she'll really like it. If she doesn't like it, no matter what we do, she won't like it. That's her. Hearing this, Yin honestly feels mixed emotions. Hard to describe how she feels right now. But one thing is clear, she genuinely wants to avoid Jungkook for a while. Finally, Yin decides. She steps back towards her car and leaves the company building. Yin tried to calm herself, surprised to realize that Jungkook needed space all this time. Alright, if that's what he wants, she'll keep her distance and give him the space he needs. She immediately grabbed her phone and typed a message to him. Jungkook's phone vibrated, and he quickly picked it up to read Yin's message. Frowning, he found a message explaining her busy schedule and the need for some space. Honey, I'll be busy for the next few days, so I won't be able to come to your office. Don't wait for me, sorry you'll have to have lunch alone. Take care of your health. Alright? You take care of yourself too. Returning to work, Jungkook displayed a faint smile. Honestly, he was quite pleased to receive this news from her. It seemed like perfect timing, as he also desired some time alone. For a week now, they've been keeping their distance, each engrossed in their own worlds. Jungkook truly enjoyed his days, having lunch occasionally with clients and sometimes alone at the office. After work, he would go straight to bed without Yin's nightly calls. He felt a genuine sense of having time for himself and ample rest at home. In his spare moments, he used to call Yin when at home, but this time, he dedicated that time to playing games. The situation was the opposite for Yin. Accustomed to spending time with Jungkook, even just over the phone, her heart felt restless. She was tormented, yearning to hear his voice, to meet him and to be close to him. However, for a week now, she refrained from doing all that. Whether consciously or unconsciously, it affected her emotions and eating habits. The bitterness in her mouth became noticeable, and she lost her appetite. It's been almost 2 weeks since Jungkook received any news from Yin. Now, curiosity and discomfort creep into his heart. He begins to feel restless and somewhat disappointed, wondering why Yin seems to have forgotten about him completely. What is she so busy with? What is she doing that makes him no longer a priority? Frustration builds up as he tries calling Yin, but she doesn't answer. Annoyed, he resorts to texting. Baby, what are you doing? How long will you be busy? I miss you. No response, and he notices that his messages remain unopened or unread. Frustration turns into genuine concern. He types again. Are you at your boutique now? I'll come over this afternoon. I don't care if you're busy. I really miss you. Still, his messages go unnoticed by her. Feeling frustrated and curious about what might be happening, he checks the time, seeing it's only 10 in the morning. Unable to wait any longer, he stands up, grabs his car keys, and heads straight to her boutique. Arriving at Yin's boutique, Jungkook was greeted warmly by one of the employees. Good afternoon, Mr. Jeon. Is there anything I can help you with? Where's Yin? The employee looked puzzled and slightly surprised by his question, but responded politely. I'm sorry, Mr. Jeon, but Miss Yin is currently hospitalized. Hearing this, Jungkook was instantly shocked, unable to hide his surprise this time. Why is she hospitalized? What happened to her? Since when? Miss Yin has been in the hospital for 3 days, and she's suffering from gastric acid issues, sir. In which hospital is she being treated? She's at Hill Hospital, sir. Alright, thank you. Jungkook swiftly exited the boutique and headed to his car. With determination, he sped towards the hospital. Arriving at the hospital during visiting hours, Jungkook saw information about the room he was headed to. Upon opening the door and entering the room, he saw Yin lying down, accompanied by one of the maids from her house. Although Yin was lying down, she wasn't asleep. As Jungkook walked closer, she looked surprised. Why didn't you tell me about all of this? How could you be in the hospital for 3 days, and I wasn't informed at all? There was no need. I intentionally wanted to give you time and space for yourself so that you could enjoy your time. Huh? Why would you say that? I heard it myself. You said those words. I don't know who you were talking to at that time, but that's what I heard. I just fulfilled what you seemed to want. You heard all of that? Yes. Baby, I apologize for that incident. I felt that way at that moment, but it turns out I can't continue like this either. I miss you so bad. Don't you miss me too? Well, I do miss you too. You know, I'm sorry if I've been taking up too much of your time, even your alone time. Please don't say that again. I sound so mean to you. That's why you ended up in the hospital, right? Yin remained silent, not answering his question. There's only one solution. We should get married soon. Why is that? Because by getting married, we can be closer. Even if I'm busy at the office during the day, at least throughout the night, we can be together. This way, you can always be close to me. Do you think I'm really that clingy to you? Honestly, yes. But if we're married, it could be a real solution. I've been thinking why you always want to be close to me. Maybe because our time together is limited. That's why I'm telling you, the only solution is for us to get married soon. What if I remain clingy even after we're married? What then? If that's the case, then our time together will still be much longer than when we're not married like now. So, baby, do you want to marry me? Yin just smiled and nodded weakly. Alright, now rest so you can recover quickly. From now on, I'll be the one keeping you company here. Aren't you going back to the office after this? I'll take leave until you're out of the hospital, but this evening, I need to go home for a bit to prepare my clothes for staying here. Thank you, honey. I'm sorry if I'm causing you trouble. Jungkook simply smiled and then leaned in, bringing his face close to hers, who was now lying weakly. He gently kissed her forehead, lingering for a while. Get well soon, baby. I love you. Yin closed her eyes, savoring the affectionate kiss from him. Her lips now formed a smile. I love you too, honey. I really love you. Yes, I know. You really love me. I feel the same way.